This video is almost a love letter for a guitar type that I actually used to hate back in the days. When I was young and naive and all of those things, I found Telecasters to be actually really ugly. I didn't understand why people would play them. They looked stupid, like it's just a kind of slab of wood and a neck attached to it, and the pickup configuration looked kind of wrong and stuff like that. And this was coming from like a, I don't know, let's say 17-year-old me who was into metal and Ibanez guitars and stuff like that. And it took me a few years from that until I realized how awesome and versatile these guitars actually are. The first time I actually properly remember playing a Telecaster was several years since this 17-year-old me. I was at my friend's rehearsal space. He had the ESP Tele. I think they produced those in like 90s or something. And we played through an awesome Marshall stack, and then it hit me, wait a second. This guitar does other stuff than country. It actually is an amazing rock guitar, and pretty much after that I had to get a Telecaster to actually kind of try that out and kind of prove myself that yeah, you can actually play rock stuff with it. So at some point I ended up getting a Squier Classic Vibe Telecaster, or custom Telecaster, the one with the binding and sharp edges and stuff like that. And I really like that guitar. I actually liked it so much that when I finally decided to attend a guitar building course in 2012, I want to say, I was super happy to hear that the first guitar that is recommended for you to build, because it's the simplest one to make, was the Tele. Despite the fact that this was probably, I think, please correct me if I'm wrong on this, this was the first mass-produced kind of solid body electric guitar in the world. And despite of its simplistic design and kind of understated looks as well, there's not too much going on. The Tele has held incredibly well through the years and is still probably one of the most popular guitar choices anywhere. As you can probably immediately tell, this guitar I'm holding isn't a Fender or anything like that. It's a guitar built by me, and it is very traditionally spec'd, an older body, maple neck, rosewood fingerboard, and I've been super happy with this guitar. As you probably know, when I started doing YouTube, it had a different pickup configuration with the Fender Nocaster, bridge pickup, and two DiMarzio single coils that were actually Strat pickups, and now it's back to its Tele form where it has Sheptone Tele pickups in it, and I feel like it sounds and kind of feels to play like a real Tele. So why do I love the Tele? First of all, I think it looks cool. Like nowadays, I find it looks cool. Maybe I think it has something to do with like when you see a guitar, what kind of players you associate it with. And for the longest time, I associated it with the hat-wearing country guys that sang incredibly cheesy tunes that I couldn't stand. By the way, I do like many of the country songs as well nowadays. I guess that's growth. I don't know. But yeah, I find the Tele is great looking guitars nowadays, just in the simplest form even. Like let's say the Bruce Springsteen, the classic TV yellow, or whatever the color is called, kind of him rocking that guitar out. It just looks cool. And I also love that it is really simple. It feels like a great tool. There's nothing kind of extra that you don't need. Tone, volume, 3-way pickup selector, tuners. That's really it. And despite its simplicity, it's actually kind of deceptively versatile. You can play really nice, clean or low gain stuff with it. By varying the amount of gain from your amp or your pedals, you can go to country stuff and you can go to rock stuff on the bridge pickup especially. You can do really great blues things with it as well. And you can get into heavier rock territory as well. I dare to say you can even play some metal with it as well. One other thing that I love about the Tele is the fact that you kind of need to fight it a little bit. It's not super ergonomic. The neck joint isn't like super easy access or anything like that. And there's kind of a different interaction between you as a player and the guitar than with some other kind of super ergonomic guitars. And I personally like that. There's a different feel with this guitar than any other guitars. And after a while, I've gotten super familiar with it, how it works and how you get different sounds from it. It responds amazingly when you pick with your fingers, then you switch to a pick and hit it hard, and it responds nicely to it as well. And it's much more kind of beefier sounding than a Strat, and I'm pretty sure it's due to the bridge, because this is a string through bridge, and I think that adds a lot of weight to the sound. And it also makes the middle pickup position and the neck pickup position sound very different to anything that you can get on Strat. And I like that a lot. Because of those same reasons, you can crank up the gain and get into a heavyish territory with this as well. And even though it is a kind of heavier sound, it's still very manageable. You don't usually run to your amp and turn down the bass like you do on a Les Paul, for example. And there's still a great clarity, and I guess the combination of the pickups and the build give you this twangy sound that you cannot get from any other kind of guitar. And there's countless amount of great players who get all of the kind of chicken picking, and that kind of one of the signature sounds of the Teles, Though I want to say that like there isn't a single signature sound of the Tele, because it's been used in so many genres. You even see a lot of metal bands when they are tracking. They would first, for example, track a humbucker guitar, let's say like an arpeggio line. And then they would double that take with a Tele because it has a certain frequency range that cuts really well through the mix. And that helps that particular guitar line to stand out a bit more instead of just tracking with the humbuckers. Just check out any kind of making of video of a metal album, and usually there's a Telecaster somewhere in the corner which they will use at some point for these purposes or something else. Because Telecasters are relatively easy to build, it also means that the price of the guitar is usually less than on many other designs, because it is literally a slab and a neck, basically. And that's something to like about them. They're simple enough for a beginner, which is nice. There isn't too much you need to learn control-wise or anything like that. Yet, if the player is anything between like clean stuff to funk to jazz to rock music, it will cover all of that. Maybe not the heaviest metal, but otherwise pretty much everything. And the simple construction also means that it's easy to modify. You can have a humbucker here, you can have more pickups over here and stuff like that. And because it's such a standardized model nowadays, there's a huge amount of different spare parts available that you can change, and that makes modifying a Tele really easy. But yeah, that's my story with the Telecasters. I used to think they are ugly and are difficult to play, but then I fell in love with the sound, and because I love the sound so much, I kept playing them and got used to them. Nowadays, I don't feel like they are kind of constraining me or anything like that. I just enjoy playing Teles. And if I would have to pick a desert island guitar, I think it would be a Tele, because it does most of the things I play really well, and I just really enjoy them. And I think it would be easy to fix on that desert island as well, because there isn't too many parts that can break. Don't bring a Floyd Rose guitar on a desert island, you'll be in trouble. Yeah, good joke. Before we wrap up, I kind of want to mention that I kind of want to give this Can Telecaster Play Metal thing a try. Basically, I want to take this guitar and the rev dynamics and the rev pedals I have and see if I can track a metal track and good sounding metal track using just the Tele and no other guitars. If that's something you guys would be interested in, please let me know down below in the comments, and that video might happen rather soon actually. And yeah, this is my love letter for Telecasters. If you like this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, let me know what you think. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell as well. Thanks for watching this video, I shall see you next time!